There's a strange and uncomfortable reality men face after betrayal. A woman will cheat, she will lie, she will walk away, as if she has already moved on from the life you built together. But weeks later, or months later, she suddenly appears again. She sends a message, she checks your social media, she asks how you've been, or tries to slip back into your life as if nothing ever happened. Most men are confused by this. They assume if she cheated, she must have wanted something better. They assume she must be truly in love with the other man. They assume her return means she realized the mistake, but female psychology tells a deeper truth. Women don't always come back because they miss you. They come back because they miss the version of themselves they had when they were with you. A woman cheats when her emotional world is in chaos. She reacts, she escapes, she avoids facing the emptiness inside her. Cheating is not simply about desire. It's an emotional escape hatch. But after the excitement fades, after the fantasy dies, after the other man fails to provide what she expected, she faces the truth she ran from. And when that truth hits her, she often turns back to the last place she felt stable. Women come back to men they cheated on because they underestimate the emotional destruction they caused. At the moment of cheating, her brain is convinced she's choosing happiness. She believes the new man will fill the emotional spaces she felt were empty. She believes she's upgrading her life. But women rarely realize the fantasy comes with consequences: guilt, confusion, emotional overload, and the collapse of false expectations. The first reason women come back is emotional regret. Not always regret for cheating, but regret for losing the stability, comfort, and emotional safety the man provided. A woman may break the bond, but her mind's still attached to the emotional environment she once had. When she steps out and realizes the world beyond is colder than she imagined, she tries to walk back into the warmth she abandoned. Another reason is the collapse of the fantasy. Most cheating happens because the woman imagines a different emotional life with another man. New attention feels electric, new affection feels intoxicating. The forbidden excitement creates a temporary emotional high. But emotional highs always fade, and the new man eventually becomes normal, flawed, unpredictable, and disappointing. When the fantasy breaks, she compares reality to what she left behind, and that comparison pulls her back toward the man she betrayed. Female psychology also explains another powerful force: emotional guilt. At first, a woman suppresses the guilt to justify her actions. She rewrites the story to make herself the victim. She tells herself she wasn't appreciated. She tells herself she deserved better. She tells herself she wasn't happy. This self-protection softens the guilt long enough for her to cheat without collapsing emotionally. But once everything calms, guilt rises like a wave she can no longer ignore. She comes back not simply seeking forgiveness, but seeking emotional relief from the guilt her mind refuses to carry alone. Women also come back because they want to check if you still need them. Female psychology shows that emotional security is tied to how much she feels valued by a man. Even if she cheats, even if she leaves, she still wants to feel she mattered. She wants to believe she could return if she chose to. She wants to believe she has power over your emotions. This is why she may contact you even when she has no intention of rebuilding the relationship. She simply wants validation that she still exists in your emotional world. Another powerful reason women return is ego collapse. When she cheats, her ego is inflated by the attention of the new man. She feels desired, wanted, admired, emotionally alive. But when that attention fades, and it always fades, her ego crashes. She becomes unsure of herself, doubtful of her value, uncertain about everything she once believed. And so she comes back to the man who once made her feel emotionally secure, hoping he can restore the confidence she lost. Some women come back because they think time will erase what happened. They assume men eventually soften. They assume men eventually forgive. They assume the door remains unlocked. They return when they feel lonely, when they feel emotionally unstable, or when life becomes overwhelming. They hope the man they betrayed will still be the emotional anchor he once was. But the deepest psychological reason is this: a woman comes back because she never fully detached from the emotional bond, even if she broke the relationship. Women attach emotionally long before they attach physically. So even when she cheats, even when she walks away, Even when she chooses another man, remnants of the emotional bond remain buried inside her. And when life shakes her, she returns to the last place where her heart felt understood. This is why some women act shocked when the man refuses to take them back. They assume the emotional bond was still theirs. They assume they could return whenever they felt ready. They assume the connection would always exist. But betrayal changes the landscape of a man's heart in ways she never predicted. When a woman returns after cheating, she often says she misses you. What she really misses is the emotional version of herself she had when she was with you. She misses the way you made her feel. She misses the stability you offered. She misses the emotional security she took for granted. She misses the consistency the other man cannot give. She misses the calm life she once rejected. But here is the truth men rarely hear. Her return is not a sign of loyalty. It's a sign of emotional turmoil. She comes back not because she suddenly values you more than before. She comes back because the world she ran to did not give her what she imagined. She comes back because the emotional cost of cheating is heavier than she expected. She comes back because the bond she tried to break still tugs at her subconscious mind. A woman also comes back because heartbreak humbles her. Cheating creates a false sense of superiority. She believes she can do better. She believes she has more options. She believes she is wanted by everyone. But when the other man loses interest, or becomes distant, or shows his real character, her sense of power collapses. She begins to realize the value of what she left behind. She tries to return not because she chose you, but because the world chose to hurt her right when she felt strongest. Some women come back out of fear. Fear of loneliness, fear of starting over, fear of rebuilding their emotional life, fear of losing the comfort they once enjoyed, fear of facing the consequences of the choices they made, fear that they ruined their future by chasing a temporary thrill, fear of being judged, fear of the emptiness that follows betrayal. And when this fear becomes overwhelming, she turns back to the one man she once trusted, hoping he hasn't changed. Not every woman comes back for love. Some come back for closure. Some come back for comfort. Some come back for power. Some come back for validation. Some come back for emotional rescue. Some come back because the truth caught up to them. And some come back because the connection they ruined still lingers inside their heart. But here is the most important truth for men. A woman coming back after cheating is not a compliment. It is not a sign that you were the better man. It is not proof she finally understands your value. It is a sign that she is emotionally lost and returning to familiar ground. Cheating breaks something inside a relationship that can never be restored to its original form. Trust dies in silence. Respect fades quietly. And the emotional bond collapses beneath the weight of betrayal. When she comes back, she is not returning to the relationship. She is returning to the memory of what the relationship once felt like. She is chasing a version of the connection that no longer exists in the same way. And some men fall for this illusion, hoping to rebuild what was shattered. But they often end up learning the same painful lesson twice. The real power lies in understanding why she comes back, and choosing whether her return is a door you want to open. If a woman comes back after betraying you, it means one thing. Her emotional world is unsettled. Her fantasy collapsed. Her guilt grew heavy. Her ego cracked. Her security disappeared. Her replacement failed to replace you. Her heart realized the cost of her choice, and her mind could not escape the emotional memory of what she once had. But that does not mean you must receive her, accept her, or restore what she broke. Your strength is in recognizing her return for what it truly is, an emotional echo, not a promise of loyalty.